Alright, so what are your pet peeves? What gets your panties in a bunch? What ticks you off like a clock? Well, I'll tell you my pet peeves if you tell me yours. So let's get into this. First on my list is when people say they need to donate to me whenever they're asked, would you like to round up your total? So like recently we had hurricanes come through. And of course, when that happened, a lot of businesses like Walmart, Target, if Kmart was still around, I bet it would too. But I can't tell you how many times I heard someone say they need to donate to me whenever they were asked to donate. Now look, I can completely understand, if you don't have the money to donate. I've been there before, where I'm buying something and it's like $5.20 something cents, and I've got $6 to my name. Okay, yeah, I can't round up then. I understand that completely. That's a whole nother story. But if you say you're on your way home from work, then you've just listed 3 things that the people don't have anymore, and you're saying you need donations more than they do? I'm sorry. No, I know you probably don't mean it like that, but that's how it sounds to me. And that's how it sounds to anybody that I've asked about it. Because these people just lost their house, lost a job, probably lost people that they loved, and you just said you're driving home from work. So no, you don't need donations more than they do. Next on my list of things that get me pissed is when I'm watching something on like Hulu and it skips to the next episode before that previous episode is even finished. For example, recently I was watching the TV show called The Rookie. In the episode, it was nearing the end and they're chasing the criminal, and the criminal comes out and he puts a gun up to Officer Nolan's head. Officer Nolan is the main character. And then it cuts to an ad break. Okay, didn't think anything of that. Ad breaks are common. But then, when it comes back on, they're sitting in the shop, or the car, whatever you want to call it. They call it a shop on the show. But they're sitting in the car, and they're talking about something that is completely unrelated to the events that I just witnessed. And so I'm sitting there for a couple minutes wondering, like, well, how did they get out of this? Maybe they'll say something about it, and it'll be like a flashback or something. Then eventually I realized that's not going to happen. It cuts to the next episode. And I had to go back and start that episode from the place it cut off at. And there was like 5 minutes left. Like, I need to know what happens. I need to know how the story comes to a close. I need to know if these characters break up or get back together, or if this guy gets shot, or if that person gets arrested or something like that. I don't want to have to put it together from the next episode. Also, with Hulu, the amount of ads that I see kind of tick me off. And for some reason, it always wants to play Season 1, Episode 20 every time I start it up. Meanwhile, I'm in the middle of Season 4. Why are you trying to play this episode over and over again? And it was doing that before I even finished Season 1. I was like in the middle of Season 1 and it started doing that. I don't know. Maybe there's something in Season 1, Episode 20 that's supposed to mean something. Who knows? I'm not going to watch it again. Here's one that makes me come crashing down every time. What do you call that game where you take the blocks and you stack them by 3s on top of each other like this, and you got to try to pull one out so the tower doesn't fall over? Would you call that toppling timber? Because I wouldn't. I'd call it Jenga. But, that's just me. Maybe I'm old, and maybe the name of the game has changed for some reason because of wokeism or whatever. But growing up, I always called it Jenga. And here's some other ones that I saw that are Jenga knockoffs. So yes, my next thing is knockoff brands. I don't like knockoff brands. Dr. Thunder, Cream Betweens. These are not Cream Betweens. These are Oreos. Although Oreo is a knockoff of another cookie called Hydrox, which to me sounds like something you would clean your toilet with. But Oreo just became more popular than Hydrox, and now it's the cookie that has knockoffs of it. Now here's one that I don't think anyone can fix unless I adjust in my sleep schedule. When I wake up in the middle of a dream and something extremely interesting is happening in that dream. So like recently I was sitting there, I was dreaming away, had me a good old dream, and I'm having a conversation with one of the people in my dreams, and he's about to just spit some straight facts. He's about to tell me some much needed information. You know, what he's about to say is going to change my life. He's about to tell me the answer to life, the universe, and everything. It's 42. I woke up, and I didn't get to hear what he was going to say. So I tried to go back to sleep, but in my head, I knew I wasn't going to be able to go back to sleep, and I would just end up making something up in my head awake, which is what I ended up doing. So I just completely threw that out because that's not going to make any sense. I'm going to make up what I want to hear, when in reality, this person could have just told me how to fix my whole life. So one more thing, and I'll be out of your hair completely. This is the last thing that gets my panties in a bunch, and this gets them bunched up like a wad of Kleenex. When I have family or friends on my social media, and they use my real names in my comments. Like recently, my grandmother. I sit on the love seat, she was on the couch, and she was on Facebook, and she commented on something I had posted, and she used my real name. She said something like, "You're so goofy." And of course, I removed the comment, and I look over to her and I'm like, "Don't use my real name. I'm using a fake name for a reason." And she didn't understand why, and I had to explain to her that I just don't like it. I'm not really comfortable using my real actual name on Facebook. I also don't like it when people comment using names of people I'm no longer associated with, such as ex-girlfriends, because that happened recently too. Someone commented and they said that picture better not have been from this girl I used to date. Now look, that's not because I don't want that. It's because that's for their protection. Okay, somebody could see that, be able to follow a trace back, find out who that girl is, and go harass her. And I don't want that. Alright, because that's going to end up falling back on me, and just overall, I don't want somebody harassing a girl at all, but mainly a girl from my past. I guess the moral of this story is things piss me off, and I like to talk about it. But I hope you enjoyed, even though I know you didn't. I know there's probably only like 2 or 3 people that are still watching at this point. I look at my analytics. I know most of you click off within the first minute. Stop doing that. Okay, please. I promise, once I get into a groove of it, I'll make really good content. But I need your help to do that. But anyway, I gotta go now. Bye.